Our Indian society was seeing a major transition in our social living structures during early 2000. Long and joint families had started splitting into small nuclei. And when you're on your own for all your social and financial decisions, hit and trial becomes a way of life. The new society was just learning to adapt to this new way of life, and that is when I was born, in an upper middle class family living in a semi urban area. During first year of my life, all that I received from my family and other people was love and blessings. But I realized that as and when they saw me taking charge of my body, a sense of hope and expectation started rising in them. When I drew my first straight line, my dad said, "He has a smooth control on the pencil. I bet he will be an artist." On my first poetry recital, my mom said, "He speaks so well. Perhaps he will be a news anchor on a big television news channel." When I picked up a doctor's set toy for my playtime, they said, "Oh, so he will become a doctor." And when I picked up a puzzle, they'd say, "There, I already told you, he's into math." In 12 years, my mom and dad must have thought of like 100 possibilities for my future. But by the time I was in the ninth grade, we had my interests and strengths mostly figured out. And that was when the real challenge and confusion began. Because we realized that once what to do is sorted, how to do begins. To find the right path where my interests and strengths could find the right career seemed like a completely dark deal. We were either short of any ideas or overflowing with them. Amidst the chaos, my dad suggested me to meet the career counselor of my school for advice. My dreams were big, and my interests were not so common. The career I wanted to pursue had more scope abroad than in my own country. I was filled with apprehensions for discussing it with my school counselor. But looking back, I can now say that it was the best decision of my life to ask my counselor for guidance. She was not only well informed, but also well connected to the universities abroad that offered the course of my choice. Right from what would be the relevant choice of subjects to the necessary additional skills for my profile, making a fine balance between the entrance exam and boards, and then preparing me for the interviews. She was there till I made it to my dream college in my choice of course. It was one of the best universities in United Kingdom, and the duration of the course was 4 years. It was not just monetarily that my parents made the necessary sacrifice that I could go ahead to pursue this course of life, but by allowing their only son to go to a foreign land in hunt of his dreams, who may come back a couple of years later or may just find a well-settled life abroad. And with all their blessings, it was time to take off. I was with the brightest of minds, guided by the best of faculty in the world, and living in perhaps one of the most developed countries. Every day was new, a new learning, a new experiment, and a new adventure. The idea of theory and practical was much different than what I was used to. My school counselor not only helped me to get here, but also guided me all along these 4 years. It was because of her that I was referred to as the exotic talent by my faculty. And like a roller coaster ride, my graduation came to an end. How I wish it didn't. And by the time it did, I already had job offers from 3 of the biggest MNCs from across the world. I picked up the one that was the most demanding job of all, as my priority was learning and becoming capable enough to give it back to the society. I stayed at the same company for 5 years, gaining 2 promotions and, most important of all, the understanding of how what I learned during my graduation was put to use in the industry. I always knew I had to start something of my own, and the time had come to come home and give it back to my motherland. I started my own firm in India, and it seems as if the universe was in tune with my thoughts, with certain ups and downs, and a session of learning to deal with unpredictability and uncertainty after years of conditioning of the stability that a job provides. Within 3 years, my firm was generating a revenue of 1 crore. Today, I am giving jobs to more than 100 people and contributing to my country's economy. Tonight, as I sat on the dinner table with my parents and wife, my dad said with a grin, "Imagine if I had never suggested you to speak to your school counselor. I think I deserve more credit than your counselor." We had a good laugh. But I seriously wonder if I had let my apprehensions take over and had not communicated to my counselor, it would have always been a shot in the dark forever. But I did, and the rest became history.